Conservative leader Andrew Scheer, who joins me from Regina. Mr. Scheer, just a heads up if we do have to break away to take the Prime Minister, but we appreciate your time. We watched your press conference a short time ago. What do you think Justin Trudeau should do today in the wake of this news?
Well, he could start by taking personal responsibility. He's continuing to deny that he's done anything wrong, and we now have it independently verified by an officer of parliament that he broke the law. He also needs to do what he should have done from the beginning, which is to lift the full cabinet confidence, let Jody Wilson-Raybould say her entire story. The fact that he's gone to such great lengths to cover up this whole scandal tells me that there's still more here that Canadians have a right to know about.
You don't think the ethics commissioner uncovered it all?
Well, the ethics commissioner notes that key people were prevented from giving testimony. He actually asked for Trudeau to waive that full confidence, to allow the full truth to come out. Mr. Trudeau refused to do that, and that has been noted in the report that not all the details were able to be to come to light. So what we have here is we have a Prime Minister who looked Canadians in the eye and said things that he knew to be false. He started by denying the allegations in the Globe and Mail story right from the beginning. He then said that he never put pressure on Jody Wilson-Raybould and that she never came to him with her concerns. We now know that all of those things are false, and nobody can believe anything Justin Trudeau says about anything.
You mentioned in your press conference you think there's enough here to warrant an RCMP investigation. If you are elected Prime Minister, would you call for an investigation?
Well, look, we'll be making some specific announcements in the days and weeks to come. We do believe that there's enough here, as we called for when Jody Wilson-Raybould first made her testimony, that there was not enough here to warrant an investigation. Keep in mind that we have sworn evidence from the former Attorney General indicating that Justin Trudeau put pressure on her to interfere in a criminal prosecution because of political interests. That alone, I believe, is enough to warrant an investigation. Everything that Justin Trudeau has said has been proven to be false. His key advisors said things at committee that were proven to be false afterwards. There's clearly a massive cover-up that's been going on here. Trudeau has shut down parliamentary investigations, and he has refused to call an inquiry. So we need more information. We need to have the full truth come out. And as long as Justin Trudeau's Prime Minister, that won't happen.
What do you make of the findings that this remediation tool was buried in an omnibus bill and pushed through? And according to the ethics commissioner, it was actually SNC-Lavalin's idea to do that. What's your thought on that revelation?
Mm-hmm. It's incredibly disturbing to have this picture painted of a hotline between SNC-Lavalin, a company that was charged with egregious forms of corruption, defrauding the world's poorest people, had almost an open line to the Prime Minister to get legislation enacted to give them the possibility of getting that special deal. And when they didn't get that, continued communications, continued back and forth to pressure the Attorney General to interfere with an independent prosecutor. Justin Trudeau is running the government to reward his rich and powerful friends. A Conservative government will be there for Canadians to help them get ahead, not a select few rich and powerful people in this country.
So I want to ask you this for the record. If elected Prime Minister, would you grant SNC-Lavalin a deferred prosecution agreement?
As Prime Minister, I will not interfere in an independent decision of the public prosecutor. Those types of decisions are reserved for judges and prosecutors. That is the same as asking me as Prime Minister, would I interfere in a court case to get an individual a suspended sentence or a conditional sentence. We don't live in a country where politicians make that call. Those decisions are made based on evidence in testimony in a court. That's the way it should be. And a Conservative government under my leadership will never interfere in a criminal court case.
Mr. Scheer, we're a couple months away from an election. There's no real penalty for what Justin Trudeau did today, except to face voters come October 21st. Do you think Canadians are invested enough to make this a key issue in the upcoming election?
I do, because Canadians know that our democratic institutions need to be protected. And when you have a Liberal Prime Minister like Justin Trudeau, who can't tell the difference between where the Liberal Party of Canada stops and the Government of Canada begins, that concerns people. People have come to this country from all around the world. In many cases, they've fled other countries where powerful politicians interfere in the courts. They know what type of society that produces, and they've come to Canada to escape that. And when they see Justin Trudeau interfering and undermining our independent legal system and our justice system, they are rightly very concerned. And I do believe this will be a top-of-mind issue come election time.
If the Liberals are re-elected, be it a majority or a minority government in the fall, what responsibility will you take for not leading your party into power?
Well, again, I'm focused on winning the next election. I'm focused on putting a platform ahead in front of Canadians that will speak to the cost of living crunch and making life more affordable for Canadians. We will run a government that lives within its means so that we can put more money back in the pockets of Canadians so that Canadians can get ahead, not rich and powerful people connected to Justin Trudeau. I'm confident that that message will resonate. It is resonating, and I'm confident that Canadians will choose a Conservative government to lead this country, to restore ethics and integrity back into our government, and elect a government that helps them get ahead.
One last question. You previously said the Prime Minister should resign over the SNC affair initially. Today you said he should be defeated. What's changed?
Oh, quite frankly, just the fact that time has gone on and he hasn't taken responsibility for his actions. I believe that he lost the moral authority to govern when it was proved that he said things to Canadians that he knew were false, when he went to great lengths to cover up his scandal and corruption. He could have done the right thing then, taken responsibility for his actions, and the Liberal Party could have moved on and present a plan for Canadians. But he hasn't done that, and he has insisted on clinging to power. And that means, under the way our system works, that at this point in time, the only real possible course of action to hold him accountable is to defeat him in the election on October 21st. So I'm confident that that's exactly what Canadians will do.
Conservative Leader Andrew Scheer joining me from Regina. Appreciate your time today, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.